one roof, as one family, irrespective of which part of the world we are coming from, irrespective of the languages we speak, and irrespective of how many generations ago our ancestors left India. We thank the government of India for organizing this event since 2003, thus giving the Indian diaspora around the world the possibility to meet. This is undoubtedly the most prestigious gathering of the Indian diaspora. Our presence in such high numbers at this event reflects the strength of our bonds with this great country called India. It also reaffirms the resilience of our cultural heritage and ancestral values across time and space, and shows a common sense of belonging that arises from being a Pravasi. It reinforces our identity as a family of Pravasis. Thank you, India, for making this possible.
922.
Shri Modi ji, I am greatly honored and moved by the kind invitation extended to me to be the chief guest for this 15th edition of the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas. I equally thank you for inviting me to be India's special guest at the Republic Day celebrations in Mumbai. It is indeed a blessing to be in the holy city of Varanasi, the city of lights, where the Ramcharitmanas was penned by Tulsidas and which has inspired countless spiritual masters. We are gathered in Varanasi not only to celebrate the threads of shared history, culture, religious identities or roots, but also to find common understanding and perspectives. Indeed, the numerous countries represented today by so many dignitaries paved the way for us to develop bilateral and multilateral actions between and among our respective countries, and thus to further consolidate common diplomatic endeavors. I believe we all look forward to discussions on the way our countries and our peoples can effectively cooperate using the powerful tools of shared history, affinities, cultures, and religious identities. हम सब भारतीय संस्कृति और सभ्यता की गोद में मिल रहे हैं। यहाँ से गंगा जी का आशीर्वाद लेकर अपने अपने देश जाएंगे। Many of us in Mauritius are the descendants of Girmitias and descendants of slaves. Together, we have come a long way as one people and as one nation. In the process of nation building, there was no singular factor more important than human capital for a small country and a small population like ours. Education played a critical role in ensuring that all faiths and all cultures are respected and upheld, that our people remain united despite being diverse, that the country embarked on a process of rapid development and emerged as an upper middle income country. On 1st of January this year, I took the decision to make tertiary education free in public institutions. I strongly believe that students who are capable, who work hard, and who are motivated to succeed should not be denied the opportunity of higher learning. My ambition goes further than to provide free access to public educational institutions. I have asked my Minister of Education, Srimati Leela Devi Dukan Lakshman, who is part of my delegation, to further enhance the quality of our tertiary education, make it more responsive to the labor market, and instill in emerging generations an increased sense of responsibility towards nation building and sustainable development. Mauritius ambitions to be an educational hub, availing of its bilingual asset to host both Francophone and Anglophone institutions. We also proudly host in Mauritius the World Hindi Secretariat and the Confucius Institute. In fact, the President of India, Sri Ramnath Kovind, inaugurated the seat of the World Hindi Secretariat during his state visit in Mauritius in March 2018. We were then privileged to host in August last year the 11th World Hindi Conference. It was a vivid testimony of the value we attach to languages in Mauritius. It was also to reaffirm our staunch support to India to promote the effective use of Hindi as a global language, including within the United Nations system, and most importantly, to preserve its critical role in the preservation and transmission of cultures. I know that India has also taken many initiatives, including recent ones, to facilitate the access of the less fortunate to better opportunities. The world applauds the impressive economic performance of India and the transformation of this country under your leadership, Sri Modi ji. Your wish for a modern and prosperous India has inspired many initiatives. Skill India, Digital India, Beti Padhao, Beti Bachao, Smart Village India, Startup India, Swachh Bharat, Ayushman, and many others. These bespeak not only of your vision of a modern India, your attachment to respect for human dignity and inclusiveness, but also your wish to ensure that development benefits all citizens, including the global community. The International Solar Alliance, which you launched together with the French President, demonstrates India's contribution and commitment to responsible energy use and sustainability. We all rejoice in the undisputed recognition of your global stewardship through the Champion of the Earth Award conferred to those global leaders who are steering strategic, eco-friendly approaches in governance. Distinguished participants, if India is unique, Indianness is universal. It is only an incredible India that could turn a millennial practice such as yoga into a modern wellness practice. The adoption by the United Nations of an International Day for Yoga is a landmark and a recognition of the soft power that India yields. It is only under a high vision that Ayurveda, yoga and naturopathy, Unani, Siddha and homeopathy could converge into Ayush. In my last budget, I announced the setting up of an Ayush hospital in Mauritius. In the fulfillment of this objective, we are actively working with the Indian authorities and the World Health Organization on a roadmap for national holistic health and wellness. This is just one example where India and Mauritius, as a diaspora country, are engaged in a project of mutual benefit. India, by transmitting its knowledge on traditional medicines, and Mauritius, by availing of this opportunity to build the capacity of its people on Ayush. Distinguished participants, I noted that the theme of this PBD is to see what the role of the Indian diaspora could be in building a new India. An educated and self-reliant diaspora can be a great asset in bringing new perspectives, investments, and the ability to connect their home countries with India. Information networks, bridges to markets and societies, sources to investment and expertise are amongst the roles that diaspora networks could play. The diaspora can help grow India, and India can help grow the countries where its diaspora is located by developing opportunities for the diaspora to work with each other. It can only be a mutually beneficial partnership alongside the convergence that already takes place around themes. The symphony should serve as inspiration. I am certain that our professionals, whether they be high-level scientists or artists, would willingly engage in developing a diaspora network that favors exchanges, collaboration, and common projects. It would be interesting to imagine separate initiatives of the diaspora under common themes such as music, architecture, or medicine, amongst others. I know some of these connects between professionals and between people at large are already happening. I can only encourage the establishment of diaspora knowledge networks. The Diaspora Connect can indeed be a powerful instrument in the face of increasing challenges to multilateralism and can significantly contribute towards the transformation of our countries and the role that our countries play in the Committee of Nations. It is the Diaspora Connect that has led to the inscription Immigration Depot of Mauritius as a UNESCO World Heritage Site and to the recognition of Geet Gawai, a pre-wedding ceremony that combines rituals, prayer, folk songs, music, dance as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity. Several authors in Mauritius continue to be inspired by Indian culture and heritage and our links with India. And late Abhimanyu Anand, a well-known and awarded Mauritian author, brought to the fore the story of the perilous journey undertaken by Girmithias, sailing from Kolkata to Mauritius, thus recording a chapter of our history. These are important legacies for future generations. The OCI card, Shri Modi ji, is also another form of legacy of our common history. In 2017, you announced the revision of rules in respect of overseas citizens of India applications. Since then, many citizens of Mauritius have been able to file in their applications, and hundreds are already in possession of a card, and we thank you very much for this. Similar to your ambitions for India, Prime Minister, I remain determined to see the transformation of Mauritius into a modern state based on sustainable and inclusive development, a development where the traditional and the innovative coexist smoothly. Our development partners and the broader diaspora have an important role to play in this transformation process. We in Mauritius uphold values common to the dozens of diaspora countries here present, amongst which good governance, rule of law, and respect for human rights. We are a multicultural, multi-ethnic, and multi-religious society which understands the value of peaceful coexistence and which lives in the respect of its diversity. If Mauritius ranks high on many global indexes, whether ease of doing business, human development, the democracy index, it is because of the consistent efforts we make to continually improve conditions in our country. Whilst we face many daunting challenges in our quest to transform our small island state into an ocean economy, in trying to diversify even further, and trying to attain excellence in all our endeavors, to give up in the face of adversity. Mauritius has charted its course to become a high-income economy and to modernize its infrastructure. It will be our responsibility to ensure that in this context, our people have a good quality of life, a secure and peaceful environment, decent jobs, access to good educational and health care, and employment opportunities for upcoming generations. Our objective would be a development premised on inclusiveness and sustainability. My government's vision for the transformative journey is hinged on 7 growth pathways. Our focus is on youth empowerment, and we are banking on innovation driven by new goals such as artificial intelligence, blockchain technologies, and fintech. At the same time, we are giving a strong impetus to manufacturing and the micro, small, and medium enterprises, and pursuing with renewed vigor the consolidation of our welfare system and sustainable development policies. In recent years, we have had the privilege to welcome His Excellency President Ramnath Kovind, yourself, Prime Minister Modi ji, Srimati Sushma Swaraj, Minister of External Affairs, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, and many other Indian dignitaries to witness on the ground our efforts to lead Mauritius to a higher path of development. Mauritius will soon see the emergence of a new form of mass transit, new premises for the Supreme Court, a modern ENT hospital, and the construction of modern infrastructure in Agaliga, just to name a few. We thank India for its support in making those projects possible. Let me also recall that our dream of making Mauritius a cyber island started with the setting up of our first intelligent building by India during the visit of former Prime Minister Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji. The Cyber Tower, which has now been renamed the Atal Bihari Vajpayee Tower, remains a prestigious symbol. It remains a prestigious symbol of the India-Mauritius partnership. ICT is currently the 5th pillar of the Mauritian economy. The Minister of Technology, Communication and Innovation, Honorable Yogidaso Minaden, who has accompanied me on this trip, shares my dream to make Mauritius a preferred destination for the establishment of data centers and to further grow the ICT sector. We will build a modern Mauritius without relinquishing the values that we have kept us so far so strong. Our roots, our cultural heritage, the preservation of languages, the consolidation of democratic principles will all thus remain important. Since 1925, the motto of the Hindi Prachayani Sabha of Mauritius has been Bhasha Gayi to Sanskriti Gayi. It is up to us to make the necessary efforts to preserve our ancestral languages. There are several of them in Mauritius, and the government has ensured that they are taught in schools. There are also specific language speaking unions which help to promote all ancestral languages. We will pursue our efforts to preserve and promote ancestral heritage and languages, for these are linked to our identity as a plural nation. I am pleased to announce that Mauritius will host next month an international Bhagavad Gita Mahotsav This Mahotsav is a joint initiative of the Haryana government and the government of Mauritius. The purpose is to strengthen the cultural ties with all countries where the Bhagavad Gita remains an essential part of worship and cultural practice. We look forward to welcoming all the delegations to this event. I am also pleased to announce that Mauritius will, for the first time, organize next year a Bhojpuri Mahotsav. Mauritius was very much present when the Center for Bhojpuri Studies at the Benares Hindu University was inaugurated in December 2009. Although our ancestors had endured a lot, they preciously preserved the Bhojpuri language. It is my earnest wish that the Bhojpuri Mahotsav raises awareness on the Bhojpuri language and promotes intercultural exchanges. I have conferred the responsibility to organize the Mahotsav to my Minister of Arts and Culture, Honorable Pritivar Shrupan, who is also amongst us today. And I invite all of you to attend. Ladies and gentlemen, Bahut Beris Pehle, John Logan Hiase, Mauritius Jal Rahalan Ja, Aj U Logan Ki Santan, ई पवित्र धरती पर आल हवन जा हमनी खातिर ई अपन आप में इगोतिर था. Nearly 400 of my countrymen have accompanied me on this soul-stirring travel to Varanasi for a snan at the Kumbh Mela. We are the second biggest delegation attending the Kumbh Mela. And on their behalf and in my own name, I wish to express and convey our special thanks to the government of India, including the state of Uttar Pradesh, for their legendary hospitality which has facilitated our stay. Excellencies, brothers and sisters of the diaspora, our ancestors may have left India decades ago, but each time we travel to India, especially when we come to a place like Varanasi, the vibrations in our hearts and in our minds never left us. बनारस के बाद हम सब त्रिवेणी जाएंगे. आप सबको इस पवित्र तीर्थ की शुभकामनाएं. भारत, मॉरिशस और सभी प्रवासी देशों के बीच गहरी मित्रता हमेशा बनी रहे। आप सभी को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।